My name is Nökkvi Fjalar, and I love to influence people to gain more time to do things that I love to do. I don't know all the answers. This is just my 5 simple steps to gain more time. The easiest way for me to introduce myself to you is that I own a company and many of my clients are high achievers, but I don't have any diplomas or degrees. I've been fortunate to play a role in a movie, but I'm not an actor. I publish books, but I'm not an author. I performed on many of the biggest stages in Iceland, but I'm not a musician. I'm doing this course here in English, hopefully you hear that, but my main language is not English, it's Icelandic. One of the things that I'm really good at is taking full responsibility of myself and how I use my time to do things that I love to do. And I'm going to go through the steps with you, how I gain more time. When I get older, I don't want to look back and regret how I use my time, neither should you. Are you ready for this? Let's go through it. Before we go through these 5 steps, I want you to answer the 6 checkup questions and rate your time from 1 to 5. 1, strongly disagree. 2, disagree. 3, neither agree or disagree. 4, agree. And 5, strongly agree. The first question of 6 checkup questions to rate your time is, do you take full responsibility of your time? I'm gonna explain better in this course what I mean with this, but the easiest way to explain this question is the time running you or are you running the time? The next question is, do you have an ideal morning routine? Everybody has a morning routine, but the question is, do you have an ideal morning routine that sets the tone for the day and helps you to be more relaxed and more mindful for the day? The third question is, do you prioritize your priority? Are you doing things that you must do? Are you putting your priorities in priority? The fourth question is, do you concentrate on one task at a time? Are you a multitasker or are you concentrating on one task at a time? The fifth question is, do you schedule your time? Do you schedule your time, and is your time scheduling from 1 to 5, is it good or bad? 1, strongly disagree, and 5, strongly agree. The last question is, do you do things that you must do every day? Are you procrastinating something that you have to do today from 1 to 5? And if you have answered this question, we can go through the first step. Are you ready for the first step? These steps are in particular order, so the first step is the first step. And the first step is, have a morning routine and take full responsibility for your time. We all know that feeling when we overslept and we're rushing through the day and we don't like it. I believe that we don't like it. I'm assuming that you don't like it. What I mean with morning routine is doing something that is setting the tone for the day. I believe that if we win the morning, we win the day. And the science have proven that having a morning routine helps you to be more mindful, calm, and relaxed throughout the day. It's more likely that you will have that feeling throughout the day. When I was in high school, I didn't have an ideal morning routine. We all have a morning routine, but maybe it's not ideal for us. The morning routine when I was in high school, 7 years ago, I just slept as long as possible. Then I woke up and I just rushed to the school, and I was lucky if I had my pants on. I was not best version of myself, and that's why I'm doing this, being best version of myself, so I can make the most out of the day. But yeah, that was my morning routine back then. And if somebody, when I was in high school, if somebody had talked to me then and told me how my morning routine was gonna be like this time in my life, I wouldn't believe him. My morning routine have been developing for like last couple of years, and it's always like a simple steps, just a little steps each time. My morning routine now is waking up with no snooze 90% of the time. If I had not the ideal night sleep. If I didn't have the ideal night sleep, I will take a decision to sleep a little bit longer. But 90% of the time, I woke up right ahead, and then I grab water with a little bit of salt. It's good for us because when we're sleeping, we get dehydrated, and it's good for us to drink a glass of water first thing in the morning. After that, I go exercise. After that, I go into a cold shower. And then I go to the office and I meditate, I do some yoga stretches and also breathing exercises. And then I prepare for the day. That's my morning routine on ideal day. It's an ideal morning routine for me. But the step is also, not just the morning routine, is also take full responsibility for your time. That's when you can get disrupted. And not all mornings are the same. If all the mornings were the same, we need some variety. That's a good thing. So if I'm taking full responsibility for my time, I'm making the most out of if something is disrupting me. Of course, I minimize disruptions, but I cannot eliminate it because you have probably, if you're watching this, you probably have kids, and they are not. You cannot control their behavior in the morning. But taking full responsibility for your time is taking full responsibility of your morning routine, because it doesn't have to be 30 minutes, hour, or 1.5 hours. If that's something that you want to do, if that's ideal, that's good. But it doesn't have to be like that every morning. But if you want to minimize the disruption, you can probably wake up 50 minutes earlier or 30 minutes earlier, or get to sleep 30 minutes before you do it usually now. But you can do a lot of things there. I want to ask you questions about your morning routine, so you can develop it and take a little step. It's all about the little steps to get to your ideal morning routine. Are you ready for the questions? The question for step number 1 is, why should you have a morning routine? It's so important for us to know the why, because if we know the why, we can bear any how. So ask yourself, why should you have a morning routine? And like I said before, I have a morning routine, ideal morning routine, to be the best version of myself, so I can make the most out of the day. The next question is, what is your morning routine like on a good day? What is your ideal morning routine on a good day? If you know the morning routine on a good day for you now, ideal morning routine on a good day now, then you can prove it a little bit. And that's the next question. Can you add one little thing? It's all about adding just one little thing to make your morning routine better. Let's answer these questions, and then we can go to the next step. Welcome to step number 2. The first step was have a morning routine and take full responsibility for your time. Now it's the next step, and that's putting first things first. What I mean with that is doing things that is right for you to do and put that first. One of my favorite books by Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of a Highly Effective People, he talks about the difference between doing things right and doing the right thing. You can do things right for many years, but you're gonna be probably on the same place because you're just doing things right. That's good, but if you're doing the right thing, then you're moving the needle. Then you are achieving your goals. And for me, doing the right thing is do something that gives me fulfillment, something that excites me, something that is, like I said, helping me to achieve my goals. And of course, I try my best, I do my best. I don't like the word try. I do my best to do that right, do things right, and doing the right things. So that's really important for me. And what I mean with this is what I'm going to explain in the questions in this step. And this step is one of my favorite steps in the program. And I do this program with all my clients. But this step is something that is moving the needle for my clients. And I have seen so good results just from this step. So let's go through the questions. These 4 questions for the step number 2 helps me to do the right things. And for example, if I have 8 things on my to-do list for today, I have to look at it and ask me these questions. And the first question I ask me when I look at these 8 things on my to-do list, I ask myself, what can I eliminate? What can I eliminate from the list? And for example, things that I can eliminate is things that, like a meeting that could be an email. We have all gone to a meeting that could be an email. And that's something that I want to eliminate from my to-do list. Something on my to-do list today is a meeting that could be an email. Then I just skip the meeting and send the email. I can also eliminate being codependent. I know that's really in general, but I can eliminate meetings and something that is just, I just said yes to be nice to somebody or something. When you learn to say no, you will grow. That's something that I believe. So if you eliminate things on your to-do list that is not helping you to achieve your goals, you're doing something right. And if you're doing something today that gives you more time tomorrow, then I think you're doing something right, because then you're gaining more time. So I have 8 things on my to-do list, and I can skip one meeting and just have an email, and I was codependent with some old friend that I was gonna meet. I just eliminate that. It's a win-win for everybody to say no to things that will not help you grow. The next question I will ask myself, I have 6 things then on my to-do list. And the next question I ask myself is, what can I automate? Today we have technology that is helping us to improve ourselves, and we can use that to automate things. For example, my mother automated cleaning her house with a robot. And that is something that was really difficult for her to do. When she bought the robot, and when she started using it, she didn't use her time to do something else. She used her time to watch the robot go through the house. And she was checking if he's cleaning the house well. But she automated, and now she's using the time to do something for herself. So that's an example for automation. And also you can automate your bills. You can do so much with the technology, and I just recommend that you will do that. And if I have, like I said, 8 things on my to-do list and 2 things that I can eliminate and 2 things that I can automate, I have just 4 things on my to-do list today left. Then I ask myself, what can I delegate? And what I mean with delegation is finding someone that is better than me at doing something and make him help me. Delegation is something that you're getting people around you, friends, co-workers, or somebody around you, family members, to help you to save time. That's delegation. And you can delegate, I think you can delegate almost everything. You can probably delegate everything, but it's something that is helping you to gain more time. So if I, for example, my friend here that is taking this video, I delegate the editing to this to him, because he's much better than me at editing videos. I can do everything by myself, but that was everything by myself, but that wouldn't help me to gain more time and grow. It would just leave me at the same place after 5 years. I believe that. So that's delegation, that's teamwork. And if you're delegating something, it's really important for you to tell the person why. Because if the person knows the why, it's more likely that he will do it and help you. And my friend here on the camera, Christopher, knows that why we're doing this is helping and influencing people to gain more time, and that's something that is really important for us. If I can delegate 2 things, I have 8 things on my list, and I eliminate 2 things, and I automate 2 things, and I delegate 2 things, then I have just 2 things on my to-do list. We're gaining time here to do things that we love to do. We have 2 things on the to-do list, and that's the last question in this step, is what can you postpone? because we cannot do many things at one time. I don't believe in multitasking, and I will explain it later in the next step. We have to choose what we are going to concentrate on and what we are going to postpone. And if I choose one thing to do now, I choose it because it's more urgent than the other thing. If it's something that I have to do this week or have to do today, I do it. But if the other thing that I was supposed to do today is after 6 days or after 12 days, it doesn't matter, I can postpone it and schedule it. I will go through it a little bit later. So go through these questions. First of all, write down your to-do list and then go through these questions. And I'm going to be really confident with this exercise because it helped me a lot. If you do this, you will gain time. Because if we do something, I'm going to say it again, if you do something today that will give you more time tomorrow, you're doing something right with your time. So let's go through these questions and then go to the next step. Congratulations with the first 2 steps. The steps is in particular order. So the first step is have a morning routine and take full responsibility for your time, because in the morning, that's the first thing that you do every day. Wake up and do something in the morning. That's why it's first step. And the next step is put first things first. Do the right thing for you. And then is the third step. Concentrate on one task at a time. We had 8 things on our to-do list in the second step. And now we have the one task that we're gonna concentrate on, and that's what we are focusing on now. Concentrate on one task at a time and minimize distraction. Concentration is something that we train. Scientists call this place here in our brain prefrontal cortex. I like to call it a concentration muscle, and that's something that's an area of the brain that we train. And if we do exercises, this part of the brain gets bigger. It's like a muscle. It's like if I wanna train my bicep and get it bigger, it's something that I train. And that's same place here. And how I train it, it's with meditation. It's one way to do it. And that's something that I believe that I would never been. When I was younger, when I was in high school, I would never believe that I was doing this English course and talking about meditation, because I couldn't concentrate for 1 minute when I was in school. The teachers were always telling me that I couldn't concentrate, and I was not. They told me that I was not that good student. And I couldn't concentrate for 1 minute, but now I can concentrate for 90 minutes. I can concentrate. It's something that I've trained and something that I love to train. It's this concentration muscle. And like I said, how I do it with meditation. And one of my clients, he's a football player, a pro football player. If you're watching this in America, he's a soccer player. He's playing for a team in England, and his first practice was just 5 minutes meditation. He just started with the 5 minutes, and he believed he could never do it because it was something that he had never done before. And he told me that meditation was not for him, and the same thing that I did. But I said to him, just try it. Just try it for 5 minutes each night before you go to sleep. Just 5 minutes. Just take up your phone and put on your stopwatch for 5 minutes and just try it. And all you have to do is just do nothing for 5 minutes. Then you're training this concentration muscle. You're training meditation. And you're training meditation. You're just doing meditation. And that's something that he did for 10 days in a row, or 10 nights in a row. And now he meditates for 10 or 15 minutes each day. And the meditation have helped him to improve his game in football or soccer. It depends on what you call it. It's helping him to be a better player because he's more concentrated when he's playing the game. So that's something that if I can do it And this guy that has never done meditation before and believed he believed that meditation was not for him, I believe that you can do it and everybody can do it. The other thing, before I go to the other thing, it's how I see my task, I love to see the things in metaphor, and how I see my to-do list. It's like a closet. If I'm gonna clean my closet, I'm open it, and the closet has like 8 drawers. It's like the task that I was talking about in the second step. It's like 8 drawers. I look at it like I have to clean one drawer at a time. I clean this drawer and I clean this one here. I'm just concentrating on cleaning this drawer, and then I close it. And then I go to the next drawer and clean it and then close it. But when I was in high school and a couple of years ago, I was a multitasker. I believe that was really cool, and it was something good for me because I can do a lot of things at one time. And I was like cleaning the closet, open this drawer and closing this drawer, and I think about, what did I finish this one? No, okay. And then I was thinking about this one. When I was doing this one, I was thinking about the drawer beneath that. So I was all over the place, and I was always revisiting every drawer, and I was like I said, I was multitasking. But this metaphor have helped me to look at my task and to look at my to-do list and look at it like a one drawer at a time, one task at a time, and concentrate it, and then it makes sense for me. Minimizing distraction is a really good thing, and that's another thing about this step. This step is concentrate on one task at a time and minimize distraction. We cannot eliminate distraction because distraction is all over the place. But you can minimize it. You can be in a place that is quiet. You've probably been working home. You've been working sometimes in a coffee shop, and people are walking around, and it's a lot of distraction. But if you can minimize it, like put it on your headphone and listening to music to get into the zone. If you're gonna concentrate on some project, you can turn off notification. You can do a lot of things, and you can take full responsibility for minimizing the distraction. We cannot control the distraction all around us, but we can minimize the distraction, and we can take full responsibility. And like I said, in every step and in this program, it's not one size fits all. That's why I'm asking you those questions. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you how you minimize distraction. I'm just asking you how you can do it, because you know the answer. So I want to do now is go through the questions in this. I will go through the question in this step. That's the next thing that we're going to do, and I'm going to ask you how you can concentrate on one task at a time and minimize distraction. The first question in this step is how to concentrate on one task at a time. Like I said before, I'm not here to tell you how to do things. I'm here just to influence you, and I'm here to ask you these questions so you can answer this question and fit this into your program, into your schedule, and make it a habit. I use meditation. What are you going to use? When and where do you get most distracted? That's a really, really great question, I think, and it's a good question. And I ask myself this question a lot, and I do this program a lot, and I'm always doing this program. The step number 2 is something that I do daily, and this is something that I do daily. I'm concentrating on one task at a time and minimize distraction. First, I thought I had to think a lot about it, but now it's more like a habit, more like something that is like my new norm. I minimize distraction everywhere where I am when I'm concentrating on things. So when and where do we get most distracted? And if you get distracted on some place really quite often, that's something that you have to move you physically out of that area, out of that place, and find another place that you are minimizing this distraction. How can you control distraction around you? You cannot control it, like I said, but how can you minimize it? How can you turn off notification? Is something that we have mentioned here, but it's something that you are gonna answer now to get the most out of your time, and just how you can concentrate on one task at a time. If you're finishing with these questions, let's go to the next step, the step number 4. Welcome to step 4. The first step, and like I said before, it's in a particular order. So step number 1 is have a morning routine and take full responsibility for your time. Step number 2 is put first things first. Do things today that will give you more time tomorrow. Step number 3 is concentrate on one task at a time and minimize distraction. And now is the step number 4, and that's organize your time and keep the schedule. We had 8 things on our to-do list, and we eliminate 2 things, and we automate 2 things, and delegate 2 things, and then we had 2 things that we were deciding what should we concentrate on and what should we postpone. Now we are looking at the thing that we postponed, because if we postpone thing, we have to keep it in the schedule and keep the schedule. One of my clients came to me a couple of months ago, and he told me that he had tried a lot of apps to organize himself and schedule himself to schedule things. And I was like, how many apps have you tried? He's like, I've tried 10 apps. I've tried everything. It doesn't work. You have to help me. It doesn't work. And I was like, wow, have you tried 10 apps? And none of them worked for you. Yes. Tell me, which app can I use? What app are you using? And I was like, okay, no. Okay, it doesn't matter what app I'm using. Do you want my opinion? On this? He was like, yes. Tell me. And I said to him, it's not the app that is not working. It's you that are not working. You're not working. Because you have to use these apps to organize your time. You have to use this app to schedule yourself. It's not the apps, and the things are not going to organize nice things for you. It's not going to schedule things for you. You have to use it so you can organize yourself and so you can keep a schedule. He was like, okay, interesting. It's so simple. But he was like, yeah, I understand it. It makes completely sense to me. It was like he was just not taking responsibility of using these apps. He just downloads some app and think like, okay, this app is something for me. And then he didn't create some habit around it. And that's something that I want to do with you here. It's all about creating habits. It's all about creating a keystone habit that helps you to keep the schedule and organize your time. And many years ago, I've been telling you a lot about my high school years, and then I was not an organized guy. But now I'm really organized. I organize everything. I schedule everything. Why? Because I want to keep. I want to keep my word. I want to tell somebody that I'm coming, and I will come because I have scheduled the time. I'm not going to call somebody and say, oh, sorry, I double. What can I say? Like double schedule my time, or I do something that I forget to do this or that. I want to be the man of my words. That's why I schedule my time. I schedule things that I'm doing here at my office. I schedule things that I want to do with my friends and family, and I schedule it to keep a schedule. So now we're going through the questions around this step. Are you ready to go through the questions around the step number 4? Before we go through these questions, I want to add some questions in this. I think it's always a good question to ask yourself, why are we doing things? Like I said before, why should I have a morning routine? Why should I put first things first? Why should I concentrate on one task at a time and minimize distraction? Why should I do it? And why should I organize my time and keep a schedule? It's a really important question, because if I know why, I'm likely to do it. I'm likely to bear anyhow. The questions around this step here is, what habit can I create around scheduling and how you organize things? If it's just like a 5 minutes each day that you will do something to remind yourself to schedule things or do something, what habit can you create? That's the question. And the next question is, how do you organize your time? And if you answer these questions, we can go to the next and the last step. Welcome to the last step, the step number 5. The step number 5 is minimize procrastinating things that you must do today. We are, as a human race, we procrastinate things. It's just like wired in us. So that's why that's why I put this minimize procrastinating things that you must do today. And I saw a really good lecture a couple of months ago by a guy named Rory Waden. He talks about procrastinating things on purpose. And I like that. That's something that you are postponing, you're procrastinating things on purpose. Like we were talking about before, this postponing thing. That's something that is not urgent to do today. You procrastinate it on purpose. That's something that is you can look at this thing as a positive thing if you procrastinate the things on purpose. What I mean with this step here is just minimizing procrastinating things that you must do today. I believe that the boogeyman is not keeping us alive. He's not keeping us awake at night. It's what we procrastinate that day. It's just when we procrastinating things and when we're thinking about, oh shit, I should do that and that, that's keeping our strain level higher. So I want to look at procrastinating things. I want to look at it like holding this cup here up. Holding this cup up is not that hard for 1 minute. If I'm holding this cup here for 3 hours, it would be really hard for me to do it. If I will hold this cup up for 12 hours, it would be much harder. And if I would hold it here up for 24 hours, if I would be just sitting here and hold this cup for 24 hours, it would be probably impossible. But the interesting thing about it is the cup is in the same weight. It's at the same weight. And it was just the energy of holding this glass up. It was the most difficult part. And that's how I look at procrastinating things. It's not that hard when you do it right ahead, but if you procrastinate it for a long time, week, months, years, it gets harder and harder. I procrastinate things. I have even procrastinate doing this course, but I minimize it. And I minimize it, and that's the difference between people that do things and people that doesn't do things. And that's something that I influencing you to do. Just minimize the procrastinating. Just minimizing the procrastination. The only question here, and is I would like to say that one of my favorite questions in this program and one of my favorite questions to ask my clients is, have you procrastinated something that can have a positive impact on your life tomorrow or in the future? And if you have something that you have procrastinated that have a positive impact on your life, I now challenge you to do it right ahead. And like with the cup holding here up, it's harder when you're when you're procrastinating longer and longer. Just do it now. Now is the best time to do it, or do something about it. So that's the last question, and I'm really, it's just been an honor to go through the steps with you, and it's not, I can say it, most of the people don't go through the steps, all of the steps. So I'm really, what can I say? Like I just congratulate you. It's something that I'm really grateful for, to go through the step with you, and you're not procrastinating this program. So I'm really grateful for that you're doing this right now. And if you're taking notes and answering the questions, it's great. And if you're not doing it, it's okay, because you can always watch this again. Now we have finished all the 5 steps. I'm really grateful that you've been through this 5 steps with me. And I wanna end with a personal story and why I did this course. Before I do that, I wanna tell you something that I believe. We have always we have a lot of times heard the sentence, time is money. I don't believe that. Time is much more valuable than money. You can earn money and you can lose money and you can get money back, but you don't get your time back. That's something that we never get back. So it's really important for us to use the time best as possible. Last summer, I went to the hospital visiting my grandpa. He had a little stroke. He's good now, but he was at the hospital and he was just, he had a surgery that was a high-risk surgery. I visited him and we were talking and talking about many things. I'm really grateful for my grandpa. He's one of my best friends and I'm really I cannot describe how I love him, how much I love him. We were talking and his life career, his life job was teaching. And he'd been influencing so many people because when I meet somebody that he taught, they tell me that he had a really big impact on their life. So he did a really great job. I asked him a question, Grandpa, you've been a teacher all of your life. What can you teach me about life? What can you teach me so I can learn from it and do it in my life? And he looked into my eyes and said to me, Nökkvi, I want you to use your time wisely to do things that you love to do. And that's something that he said to me, and that's why I'm doing this course for you. I'm doing this course for myself, of course. I'm doing this all the time, and I'm doing this for you because I want to influence you, and that's my passion, to influence you to use your time to do things that you love to do. And that's something that I'm doing here for my grandpa. So that's the last words for me. Thank you very much to go through this course. And just if you haven't done this course and write down the answers to these questions, and that's okay. Just do it again. And if you wanna, like I said before, I don't wanna grow old. I wanna grow older. I don't wanna look back when I get older and regret how I used my time. Neither should you. And if you're not using your time like you want to use it, go through this course again and do these exercises. And I will promise you that this will help you. Some of these questions will help you to gain more time to do things that you love to do. Thank you very much.